Good evening, everyone. It is December 10th, and I still don't have my channel back, but I decided to go ahead and make a video, or put out a message, I guess I should say, in case my channel ever does come back. Now, this is Wednesday, December 10th. It was supposed to come back today, and it didn't. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe the strike lasts longer than a week, even though they say it's a week. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I really don't care all that much. I just decided to go ahead and put out a message, and I'll upload it if the channel ever does come back up again. But yeah, I would just, I just wanted to talk to y'all. Couldn't find much on the radio, really. Getting tired of listening to music, CDs. Almost done with tonight, but still got a few more things to do. But yeah, I think I'm going to title this No Opinions Allowed. This is what's been on my heart lately. And yeah, I might change it, but I think I'm going to stick with No Opinions Allowed right now. Because while I've been off of YouTube, I've been focusing more on doing live streams on Substack. And it's been kind of fun. And for the most part, it's not as censored. Now, I heard a report from Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News. Don'tSpeakNews.com, I think, is the website. But Johnny's on YouTube and Rumble. And he put out a video yesterday where he talked about how even Substack, at least in the UK, is having censorship issues. So it doesn't appear that we're going to be able to report on anything, share anything. Like I said, no opinions allowed. NOA. No opinions allowed. And even just talk and give opinions, a viewpoint, anything, without it being censored eventually. And, I had a lot of thoughts go through my mind about this, I mean, the Constitution, for one. I mean, I know people, at this point in time, I don't know how many people even care about it or know about it anymore. But, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. I mean, if you remember that from school, government economics, or even before that, depending upon where you were educated and, what they taught you. The first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. But the ones that are the most important ones, I believe, are the first, the second, the fourth, the fifth, and the eighth. And the reason I say that is because the first, of course, has to do with your freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to protest, freedom to organize, freedom to have peaceful assemblies, things of that nature. And things that are slowly but surely being taken away now. And it's fascinating and disturbing to watch all of this happen. As someone that is a constitutionalist, and, for lack of a better term, I believe in the Constitution. I think it's a great document. I enjoy having my rights as an American citizen. Whether people agree with it, don't agree with it, whatever. If you've ever served in the military or government, or you were in law enforcement or whatever, you took an oath to the Constitution to, protect against foreign enemies, both foreign and domestic, and so forth. And that oath doesn't have an expiration date. There's no statute of limitations on the oath. So I keep those things in the back of my mind when I watch our liberties just dissolve. And it's not as bad in the U.S. as it is the rest of the world. And I talked about this on my live streams that I've done on Substack, and I've done a lot of them lately. I've had the time to do them. Some of them are shorter than others. Some of them are like 2 hours long. People are like, oh my gosh. But I share a lot of videos and interviews, and I have a lot of my own rhetoric and opinions on there because, like I said, I'm not nearly as censored. But I share a lot of things from other people. Like the other day, I put one out yesterday, I think. I shared like 5 different videos, and some of them were really long. So there's a lot of stuff in there. And sometimes I share like movie clips, or I break down certain movies or things of that nature. So that's why they're that long. Some of them are only an hour or less, and others, they can be longer depending upon the time I have or what have you. But yeah, that First Amendment, it is slowly but surely going away. And in the UK, there is a man I talked about, Pastor Hank Pogue, Pastor Hank podcast, God's Soldiers Ministry. He's mentioned him quite a bit. There's a guy by the name of Enoch Burke who is a teacher in the UK. This guy literally got a life sentence for refusing to use the pronouns that they wanted him to use when he was addressing a student in his class. A life sentence. Now, there are people that are charged with all kinds of heinous acts, heinous crimes that don't get life sentences. Ask Robert Morris, probation, for his sexual assault. I'd probably get taken down again, but it's a fact, okay? I know nobody cares about facts either, but at least, the people that run the platforms, you can't say anything, but sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl, he basically gets 10 years with mostly probation. I think maybe he has to serve like 6 months in probation. I mean, it's disgusting. So, the thing about the First Amendment is, they'll shut you down. I mean, if you go against the establishment, they'll shut you down right now in America. They'll just take you off your channel, remove your channel or whatever else. But in the UK and in other areas, they'll throw your butt in jail, and they'll throw the key away. That's crazy, but it is what it is. That's exactly what is happening. Check out the story of Enoch Burke. And his brother, I think it's his brother Josiah, I think his name is. Interesting, they all have biblical names. But anyway, Josiah Burke, I believe, is kind of giving the updates on him. And I know there's a lot of other things, Voice of the Martyrs and, other nations and countries, where the Christian persecution is really ramped up. And, in Canada, another guy got arrested. I don't remember his whole story, but for preaching against Drag Queen Story Hour. So they're throwing people in jail. They're arresting people and throwing them in jail now. So the First Amendment is very important, and to protect and to use while we still have it. And of course, you have the Second Amendment. Your right to carry arms, your right to bear arms, your right to self-defense, your right to protect yourself, your family, and those that can't protect themselves, whatever. Your right to, defend yourself, your family, whoever, someone tries to break into your home. Some states have like stand your ground laws or the castle doctrine, where you could literally, shoot people on your property. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this, but on your property, if you can articulate that they wanted to do you harm or your family harm or what have you. That I can understand if you can articulate it, and if that is their intent. But some things are, they push the limits, I think, of reason. But, but the Second Amendment is an important one, of course, whether people are pro, pew pew, pro bang bang or not, the right to be able to carry and the right to be able to defend yourself and your family or whatever is another important right. And then the fourth one, which is the one that the ICE thugs, in my opinion, just basically have shredded and tossed out the window, is illegal search and seizure. People have the right not to be detained and arrested if they haven't committed a crime. They have the right not to be harassed. Now, people say, but they were illegal and they were this and they were that. Okay, I know that's a huge debate, but the bottom line is they've arrested citizens. It's kind of like detain, arrest now, ask questions later. We're going to do what we want now and then ask questions later. And that's wrong. It's just simply wrong. So whether people are for or against, ICE thuggery, as I call it, whether you're for or against these type of things. And see, it's gotten to the point now where what I'm saying now, technically, you can't say anymore. You can't say that anymore. So, but I'm going to say it anyway. Well, I mean, if they take the channel down and they never bring it back up, so be it. Lord's will be done. But to me, it's from what I witness, what I observe and everything, I call it ICE thuggery, because a lot of times it's arrest, detain, arrest, ask questions later, break out people's windshields, break out their windows, take them away in front of their kids, stake out the workplaces, whatever else, arrest all these places, all these people, detain them, ship them off to wherever you're going to ship them off to, Alligator, Alcatraz, Speedway, Slammer, whatever. Now you got the Somali thing, but listen, we've been dealing with this for a very, very long time, with people coming over legally or illegally into the we wanting to do us harm. But here's the thing people forget about. We have American citizens harming American citizens all the time. We have gangland shootings. We have all kinds of craziness and violence, white on white crime, black on black crime, black on white, white on black, whatever. Skin color, irrelevant to me in this way, but, that's what people focus on, but they're all Americans. So it's like, so to me, a lot of these arguments don't hold water. But here's why. Because people forget about due process. We have become so lawless and without compassion that due process gets completely thrown out the window. See, in this country still, you are innocent until proven guilty. And the burden of proof falls on the prosecution, not the defense. Okay? So when people are taken against their will, arrested illegally, detained illegally or whatever, due process goes out the window. Because automatically, it's assumed that they're guilty. And that's insane, but when you don't have due process, which is basically what's covered under the 5th and the 8th Amendment, I get them kind of confused. I think the 8th is a jury of your peers, a fast jury, a fast trial, where it's not delayed for years and years and years, and you have a jury of your peers. I believe that's the 8th, but I get the 5th and the 8th kind of confused sometimes. But I know one of them has to do with due process. Maybe both of them. It's been a long time since I've read the Constitution or looked at the amendments or whatever. I probably should review again. But regardless, I know about due process, and there is none anymore. And, and like I said, no opinions allowed, right? A lot of these things I'm telling you are facts, but then some of them are my opinions as well. But no opinions allowed anymore, because you will get slammed for your opinions, not only by other people, but by platforms, by regimes, administrations, government, whatever. You will get slammed for expressing your opinions now. You're not allowed to do that anymore in this country. And, as a 55-year-old combat veteran, I take issue with that, because of the Constitution, because of the oath, because of the rights that we have. Freedom is never free. Any veteran will tell you that. People with common sense will tell you that. Freedom is never free. Somebody always has to pay for it, right? But this is where we are now. And I've got some other things to say on this, but I think I'm going to save it for my Substack live stream whenever I do another one. And I post some things, some short video clips, and I might put up the stream, or link to the streams or the Substack channel or whatever as well. I've done it a few times, but I might do it again. Just to have more people come over if you're interested, if you want to. I don't charge anybody. Okay, as you know, my channels are not monetized. I'm not interested in people's money. I don't want your money. The only thing I ask of you is your time, a listening ear and your time, if you're willing to give it. And if not, that's fine. And I understand people are very busy, and if you don't want to listen, or you want to listen in increments, I get all of that. I completely understand it. I do it because I have the time now. I may not have the time in the future. I may not have the time a month from now. I may not have the time a few weeks from now. I mean, things are happening very fast, very quickly. Things you might want to watch out for is like around the 18th, 19th time frame. You can Google it, look it up yourself. Weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. Of course, they might release the files, but yeah, right, whatever. If they do, it'll be redacted, and it's going to be to protect anybody that has anything to lose, that, can afford, not to have their name out there, whether, they're in the files and guilty as sin. Money buys things off. Money buys people off. Money can prevent things from being released that should be released, because there's no justice. There's no due process. We're a completely lawless society. Maybe not completely, but mostly lawless society in a lot of ways now. And people don't seem to care. They're just fine with everything the way it is, I guess, the way things are going. I mean, yeah, you hear some reports, I guess they're going to try to indict Keg's breath, Heg Sith. I got all kinds of names for him now, thanks to Casey from Enter the Stars. He did a program, a stream a few days ago, or a week or something ago, where he compared him to like a Sith Lord, Heg Sith, from the Star Wars movies and stuff. But then I like Heg's death as well, because all these people want to do is, it seems like, is murder people. I mean, it's like I said, I'll probably get taken down again, but tell me I'm wrong. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, it's just like, let's bomb now, ask questions later. Let's murder now, ask questions later. Let's detain or arrest now and ask questions later. That's what it appears. That's what it seems it's going on, because there's no due process of law. So yeah, so they want to indict this guy. They want to indict RFK Jr. I guess Noam is on the chopping block as well. And I say good riddance. I mean, I know it's all the WWE locker room anyway. Distraction here, distraction there, bread and circuses, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But it is nice to see that at least some people might care about some justice and some law, and they want to hold some people accountable. And I know, so it's all politics, and it's all, them against us and us against them. I get all that. That's why I always said, that's what I said before, Nazis on the right, communists on the left. That's probably what got my channel taken down to begin with, but it's true. People don't like it, but it's true. Look around you. Look in society. They promote Nazism. They promote communism. They just promote this stuff constantly. I mean, it's everywhere. People don't want to see it. If people don't see it, it's because they don't want to see it. It's fact. It's in your face. So if people don't want to see it, I mean, that's a choice. But anyway, a lot of things happen. A lot of things going on. Like I said, you might want to check out the 18th, 19th time frame. I talked about a lot of this stuff in the live streams that I did. And I'll probably talk about some more. I've got some more information that I want to share, but, and if I can get my channel back, I'll share a lot of things to the YouTube channel for people that don't want to go on live stream or join people over there or whatever the case. It's growing. It doesn't have as many subscribers as this, but I'm up to like 400 and something subscribers on the Substack, which is pretty cool since I haven't really been on it that long. So the word's getting out. And for the most part, people are pretty cool over there. I mean, yeah, you get some people that, they leave comments later on, that are unnecessary, derogatory, hateful, whatever else. Same thing on any platform, but it's growing. And while this channel, I haven't put anything out in a few days because I've been in YouTube jail or whatever, I've lost subscribers. Either that, or people are looking at my content more and they're like realizing, man, I don't want to listen to this guy at all. He's out of his mind. He's lost it. He's crazy. So I'm unsubscribing. I don't know what the reasoning is. All I know is I'm losing subscribers. But regardless, if the channel comes back up, I'll post this. If it doesn't come back up, then this is just kind of my rhetoric and my therapy, because this is therapeutic. It really is. It's therapeutic to be able to express yourself, to be able to share your opinions, to share maybe a little bit of knowledge, information, and to just talk to people. Because most of the time, you're not going to be able to sit across from a table and talk to people, or in a room or wherever else. Because, one, I talk too much, I guess. And two, people aren't going to listen. And three, they're not interested. They're interested to a certain point, to a certain extent. Then they turn off. Like Hank said, before, it's like people have the attention span of a goldfish. I think it's down to like 45 seconds now. You can get someone's attention. Maybe. Some people it's like 8 seconds. And if you don't grab them right away, forget it, man. Just forget it. They're gone. They're in la la land thinking about anything and whatever else. And it's very difficult to have conversation with people across from a table or whatever else and have an intelligent back and forth conversation, where people aren't contentious, don't want to rip each other's throat out, don't want to debate over every single topic, and just talk and just share ideas and share opinions and share viewpoints with people. It's difficult nowadays. So this is how I do it. I share my opinions, my viewpoints, my thoughts, my feelings, information, maybe a little bit of knowledge, whatever else. But yeah, I have a suggestion. Watch right around the 18th or 19th. You can Google it or research it yourself to get more details on that. The files might be a big day, but then they talk about 3i Atlas and on it goes. I don't know. About a week before, the 25th makes sense to me. I know a lot of people have a lot of predictions about a lot of things. I go over a lot of that on the Substack, on the live stream. But, there's no thus saith the Lord on this, okay? It's not a prophecy, not any of my predictions. I'm simply reporting what other people are talking about, what they're sharing, what they believe they have experienced, and they're willing to share with others. That's really what it is. So people can call that whatever they want to. I know, it's like I said, no opinions allowed, all right? Yeah, it's like, oh, you're prophesying. No, I'm not prophesying. I'm not predicting anything. I am simply suggesting that people check some things out, do some research yourself, listen to some things, and check out, that week before the 25th could be very, very significant. Anytime from like the 18th to the 25th, I would definitely be watching. For a lot of things. You have the solstice on the 21st and everything else. And I get into a lot of that stuff, the occult and, and everything regarding the 25th. And I mean, a lot of stuff that I'm not going to get into on here because I've gone over it ad nauseum, almost, and shared a lot of different things on these streams that people might want to check out on the Substack. So, I mean, it's your choice. But I think I'm going to get going for now. One thing here I want to say, Casey, not Enter the Stars, but Casey, someone I found out about the other day through my daughter. It really cracked me up, too, because my daughter said that this guy, Casey, that she works with, actually listens to the channel. So I want to say thank you, Casey, and I want to thank you for, if you're listening to this, for the compliment that you gave me. I'm not going to embarrass my daughter and say what it was because I don't know if she'll hear this or not. But I want to thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I also want to thank you for looking out, you and, the team there that my daughter's a part of, for looking out for her and kind of, taking her under your wing. I really appreciate that. It's very difficult for parents or grandparents or whoever, a guardian, whatever, to have adult children, young adult children in the workforce or whatever. Yeah, they live their life and they do what they have to do. They make their own decisions or what have you. But the workforce sucks. It's all Babylon. And so it's nice to have areas that your kids can go to that you don't have to be concerned for their personal safety and well-being because people have each other's backs and they actually care about your children. And my children are blessed. My wife and my children are blessed enough to be in those positions now that they really have coworkers that seem to really care for each other and help each other out. And that is a huge blessing in today's workforce. Most people don't have that. It's dog eat dog world. Throw each other under the bus. Screw your fellow coworker over. Step on them on the way up the ladder, the corporate ladder, or whatever. Stomp on them on the way back down. I mean, whatever. It's very rare that people can work together, like each other, help each other, care for each other. So I'm very grateful and I'm very appreciative. So I just want to say thank you for that. And thank you to everyone out there that's supported this channel over the years. Not monetarily. I want to make that very clear. Your moral support, your prayers, your just your interest, your subscribing, everything. And so if I'm able to upload this video, I will. And if not, then this is kind of like just my way of expressing my gratitude and appreciation. And I will, hopefully everyone can hear it if I'm able to upload this. If not, then this is just my way of saying thank you. And I appreciate you all. I thank you for your prayers, for me, my family, for the ministries that I've mentioned that need prayers, and, the people over the years, the Fairclaws, and, continuous prayers for them, Pastor Ben Faircloth, and just, my friends, Will, Walk in the Light, Set the Captives Free, Hank, God Soldiers Ministry, Pastor Hank Podcast, Eric Hale, Conflict by Fire, a lot more. But those are the ones that come to mind the most. C.E. Harp, those are the ones that are coming to my mind the most, that have channels or, platforms or ministries, and people may know their name or be subscribed to their channel or what have you. So anyway, I've got to get going. Y'all have a great, blessed night. Take care. Like I said, I'd really watched that week before, the 25th. And I'll come back on if they let me. If they don't, so be it. Lord's will be done. But I do plan to continue to do live streams on my Substack channel, as long as they don't take me down, as long as they don't censor me completely. It is no holds barred there. People that will listen to that channel, that are on this channel, they will tell you, or they'll leave comment on the channel here or whatever in the comments section. It's no holds barred over there. I do not hold back at all, because for the most part, you're not censored. You can say kind of what you want, and, and I'll warn people. I'll tell you, viewer discretion advised on certain things. Maybe you don't want to see this. Maybe you don't want to hear this. Use your own discretion, but it's no holds barred over there, man. I'm just being honest. I am totally me. Whether people like it, don't like it, I do not hold back on over there. That's my freedom channel, basically, to say what I want. Whether people like it, don't like it, you're free to leave. You're free to subscribe, unsubscribe. You're free to listen, free not to listen. I like it because I don't hold back, and most people seem to like that too. So anyway, got to go. Y'all take care. God bless. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.